All right. Welcome to the Wednesday live stream. I'm Todd Gordon, founder of Trading Analysis, and sorry for being a few minutes late, but that's usually typically how we go. A little bit of a fire drill. We are in a new set kind of studio. Joe the intern and I were building it up. Let me turn that audio down. Welcome to the last few days. I can't give you the full kind of tour yet. Because we don't have it properly set up. We have a few more things coming in from Amazon today, and then I can properly show you what's going on. But this is kind of our new home. So, good day. Hey, everybody. Whew. Camera wasn't working. Audio wasn't working. Been here for 3 hours. Been a great morning. How are you guys doing? So anyways, yeah, new set. So bear with us. As you've been bearing with us for 6 months in this show. We're going to have some fun. Nice attendance. Welcome, everyone. All right. So, a lot of things happening. A few things I want to talk about. Obviously, the broader markets coming into earnings season next week. A lot of earnings next week. Fed Chairman Powell begins 2 days of testimony. Lots of attention on the whether or not they're going to hike rates. Why do I still think they should be hiking rates instead of cutting rates. Whether they're going to cut rates with stocks at all-time highs. So that's that. Let's see. Yeah, Lance, it says the opening of Saratoga. That actually happens tomorrow. Saratoga Racetrack happens tomorrow, so that'll be fun. All right, good on. Wow, nice. Steve, Jose, Oleg, Lance, what's up? What's up? All right, guys, so let's bring in the team. As always, Alex and Terry. Good day to you, gentlemen. How you doing?
Good morning, Todd. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning, gentlemen.
All right, gentlemen's. Gentlemen's, yeah. Lots going on, guys. Before we jump on, let's see. I will give you a link for a MotiveWave. I just have to remind myself, MotiveWave webinar will be tonight. The software we're going to use today, we're going to be doing webinar at 8 o'clock, so be sure to hang around for that link. Alex has been super busy on the crypto side. We'll bring him in, as well as he's had some good trades on the Forex side. So yeah, kind of lots of fun things going on here. Let's jump in here first. Kind of take you into the markets here a little bit. We had futures that were down pretty sharply, and then we've reversed to go positive. So that's always a good thing, especially yesterday with a market that was lower on the day, but then we came back to finish up at the highs. So if we get on here to the 5-minute chart, we had a pretty good gap down here in the open. Tag this 2964, which was this old high from a little ways back here, and then rallied sharply up into the close here. So a nice gap and then a move up. Okay, so gotta like that price action right here. And what exactly is this within the context of the wave count? I know I'm getting some hate online here a little bit from my Elliott Wave aficionados. I still am going with the idea that we are rallying in C of B. Okay, this is a C wave rally, I believe, one of my interpretations. Multiple things are possible. Alex, Terry, and I aren't going to sit here and tell you that we know that we can predict the future with certainty. I don't know anyone who can. This is the way we're playing it. This is the way we're containing our risk. This is the way we're position sizing. So this is the daily chart. No real momentum divergence yet down there on the RSI. It looks like we should have pretty clear sailing, I think, finally above 3,000. Alex and Terry, is today the day that we get 3,000?
Might be.
Or what do you think?
I don't know. We're going to hear what Chairman Powell has to say in front of the House today. And everybody, I think, is listening for clue words just to say, is he going to back out off of his stance or not? I mean, you showed
especially with that strong jobs report
almost 100% chance of a rate cut, 96% chance of a quarter point.
It's unbelievable.
If he changes anything, I think you're going to see some serious volatility, because personally I believe the market has already priced in this move.
Yeah.
And people are looking to hear how much further dovish the Fed is willing to be.
So it looks like we're just getting a headline. Powell is he already speaking? What time did he begin testimony? I've seen a headline that Powell hints at cutting rates already. So we're seeing a pretty good move up here in the pre-market futures. So, guys, and Terry, not to cut you off, keep going if there's something else you wanna throw in there. I was agreeing.
No, that's pretty much it. I'm going to check this Forex calendar real quick here and see if I can.
Yeah, I'm telling you guys, it was such a fire drill this morning. Joe, the intern, was in late night working last night. Andy, my guy, was here. Everything was set. I went through all these settings and finally was like, oh, it's just a bad HDMI cord. Anyways, we're such an amateur game here in this production studio, but we're figuring it out. Yeah, let me know if you see anything in terms of data. But, back to business here, guys. Today, the 3,000 is obviously psychologically important. For me, I'd like to set up trades here to get to the 100% fib projection of orange 1 to orange 3, right? So you just basically take the net percent distance traveled in 1 and then project that up. Minimum would be 30-30. 161%, which is your typical wave 3 target, would be 30-71. So I kind of feel like we should have some options trades on to take advantage of that projected move. All right, now I'm saving that. Everybody who's connected to me on MotiveWave up in the cloud just got that analysis. Now, keep in mind, we are still tracking a bearish count. Okay, we are still tracking a bearish count. Excuse me, what am I saying? I'm all over the place. We are still tracking, actually we're tracking a bearish count as well. But the one I wanted to pull up to you is, what if Wave 4 was over back in December? We've discussed this multiple times on this show here, guys. What if Wave 4 was over back down here and we're set to do a Wave 2 completion and we're about to rally in Wave 3? I mean, that would be completely unbelievable rally. That we'd see. That same kind of concept, targeting 100% for projection of 3v1 is a 34.35 in the S&P. I mean, you're talking into the end of the year, into 2020, but that's possible as well. The fact remains here, guys, if you just take a step back and just look at that, from Jan of 18 to now July of 19, we have just begun to break a long-term range. All right, and there's a lot of research out there that says we should be able to continue higher, but we'll see. I am also tracking a pretty significant bearish count, which I can tell you that will come into effect should we fail over the next week or two and we begin to threaten the final 786 retracement of the move up this year. If you break below 2782, that's when you really got to start dusting off your bare shoes and entertain a significant move. Guys, we're wide open. Okay, we have multiple scenarios. We won't be caught off guard. We are positioned on the long side. Our portfolio is holding the least amount of cash that we've had, but I'm ready to cut that at any second. And on the option side, we're pretty light right now. We have a lot of equity exposure. We have very little option exposure, but I'll show you a few trades that we're in. All right, now let me get my questions up here, guys. Here we go. Jose, Jerome's speaking at 10. Okay, thank you very much. That's funny. He says I should be on CNBC as a permabull. I don't know about that. Let's just DB. I know I see your name around there a little bit. I know you like to kind of bust chops a little bit, but that's fine. Everyone loves a troll. But no, we do have Wave 5 scenarios coming up here very soon. I think for the near term we do have upside to go, but in the next 1 to 2 years, I firmly believe a significant top is coming. So let's kind of take it within our time frames. Let's show you a few positions that we're in. We are short the bonds right now. This has been a pretty good move up here, looking at 1, 2, a wave 3, looking at a bit of a wave 4 pullback. So we talked about the 1.618 projection holding, or usually being the target for a wave 3. That's at 157.30. All right, and I'll show you the actual bond position that we have on now to take advantage. We are in TLT, so all I want to do is go Instrument Overlay, and I'll just throw TLT. It's not a perfect overlay because it tracks 20 plus US Treasuries. But there's TLT, okay, on the left scale. There is 30-year bond futures on the right scale. Let me just go over and show you the actual position that we have on in bonds. It's up a little bit of money. It's not doing too much right now. It was actually a little bit better this morning. So if we go all products, we go to TLT. Here's the trade that we have on here. I go to the Analyze tab, bring into TLT. So we've got a butterfly set around the TLT here, centered around 130. So here's the actual trade that we do have on. We're short 20 of the 130 puts, long 10 of the 133s, and long 10 of the 127. So we're trying to get the bonds to kind of back up here a little bit. Might be a lot to ask heading into the Fed cutting rates, but we'll see if he cuts. We'll see what kind of guidance he gives us going forward. I'm not going to hang on to this trade too much longer. I really want to start seeing TLT back up towards that 130 mark. And if you look over here on the left scale, TLT at 130 right here pretty much matches up with the bond market down around 152.5, 14, 30 seconds area. So we're starting to get that push down here on the daily. If we go down to the 1 hour, we're starting to look good this morning, but then as we get some kind of indication that Powell wants to indicate to Congress he's going to cut rates, you get the bond squeezing up. So that's fine. We're going to let him work for a little while. The other thing that we're working on is gold. And gold is a market that we've been trading really well. We caught most of the move up through 1,300 with our customers, cut the trade, and we are looking to reestablish. I hope we haven't missed. This is a really fun pattern, and the one thing we got to keep in mind is bonds and gold are going to be going in the same direction for the same kind of fundamental reasons. An easy accommodative Fed should depress interest rates, pushing bonds up, pushing gold up, should be pressing the dollar down. We're going to bring Alex in here in a little bit to kind of take us through that dollar. But the move up in gold has been solid, a really good 5-wave move. And this is tracing a very strong corrective pattern called a flat. Okay, a flat, guys, basically is 3 waves. It's 3 down in A, 3 up in B, and 5 down in C. It's one of the 3 kinds of Elliott corrections. So here's your 3-wave move in A, a real small little AB, and then an extended C, another 3-wave move. And then we may have just completed the 5-wave move down for the flat. So we crushed gold throughout this entire move with call debit spreads. It might be, if we do decide to stop out of that bond trade, that we might need to get back into the gold market. The risk is small. I would say if we put a trade on with our members, you've got risk below 1380. We're trading 1411. Upside using that same wave 3 relationship, at least as long as wave 1, gives you 1578 in gold. Unbelievable. So gold might finally be ready to move. Alex, do you want to talk about the dollar here a little bit, and then we'll circle in on crypto later on in the show? Do you want to talk about FX to start?
Sure, we can.
Okay. Let's see. You are now live.
Okay, this is our euro-dollar chart. And for now, I have this as a leading expanding diagonal up. and we are holding now key 78.6 fib level. So we need to see a little bit more upside here in an impulsive manner to keep this count alive for a possible green wave 3 on the upside, 4 and 5.
Okay.
In general, I'm a midterm bearish on euro. This is just a bearish run up in a flat for now. And if we start to develop this third wave, the first resistance will come around 118, 120 level.
Nice.
The other pair I'm looking is Aussie dollar. And after a nice pullback in flat, we are holding here 786. So also a possibility here to move higher on a short-term basis.
Nice, nice. What about the yen? Are you tracking anything in dollar yen?
I'm tracking dollar yen, but several accounts here are possible because as you can see, here is a big sideways price
when that one breaks, man, that's going to be so much macro information that we will be able to feast on.
Sure. For now, I have this as a completed B-wave triangle, and if the stocks fund it high soon, and the Fed kind of stalls and cuts a little bit, I think that dollar yen might be in trouble. So I'm tracking this possible wave 2 up, and then further continuation to the downside.
Got it.
But that's only the one count. There is also bullish ones, because this is a very tricky corrective pattern. So it can be also this one, where we have an a little bit prolonged B wave, and then we go down in C. So I'm kind of on a watch here.
Okay, very good, very good. That's going to be key. If dollar yen breaks down, buying of yen, even against the dollar, is usually kind of a macro risk-off theme. So that consolidation is really, really important. Dollar yen's been sideways for 2 years, so watch that. All right. So good work there. So generally we're bearish the dollar. I mean, that's perhaps the Fed is just catching down to the rest of the world. You know, a lot of people, Kudlow was on talking about, you know, Powell making a mistake, raising rates at the end of 18. Maybe they're talking about just taking that one back. But with the markets, you know, so elevated, I don't know. Maybe we're really backing away from a tightening cycle, and maybe we're going back down to zero. We shall see. And that certainly would bid, you know, commodity currencies. I know he's been trading a lot of Kiwi, New Zealand, as well as Australia, which are certainly commodity plays with the proximity to China. So good work there. Let's take that back. Oh, go ahead. You got anything else to throw in there?
No, just we have been long on New Zealand yen and New Zealand dollar, and we closed the trades in a relatively good trade. Okay.
Yeah, you guys are certainly doing well on the FX side. Alex, we're going to bring you back on the crypto side. I want to take it back here, guys. Good work there. I want to take it back and let's talk about kind of some sector stuff. I was on CNBC yesterday, and you know, we were talking about kind of the sector rotation that's happening right now, and you know, the Qs, or the NDX 100, is not broken to new highs, which is interesting. The Russell hasn't as well. So you have technology vis-a-vis the NDX and Russell not breaking to new highs, whereas the S&P and the Dow are breaking to new highs. So what does that mean? Well, the NASDAQ will break to new highs today, but you know, I just wanted to kind of show you what was happening there. And show you some sector analysis. And I love looking at relative strength, you know, of the sectors into the indexes. First, we'll start with the financials. Okay, this is a daily chart, just a simple no Elliott wave, a couple moving averages, and a ratio.
Hey, Todd.
Yep, I'm going to
You
pull
don't
it
have
up.
that chart shown.
Oh, thank you very much.
There we go.
Thank you very much. This one right here, let me get these icons out of here too. These are my old school trading monitors. Old school. As I said, settling into the new space. So I just want to get that sector graph up above our heads there. So up here is the XLF on the daily, just a couple moving averages, no big deal. But I really was focusing in on fast money last night on XLF into the S&P. You're seeing sort of a bit more of XLF strength relative to the S&P, though nothing, in 2019, it's pretty much just been like a market perform. Industrials, that was the sector that we spent the most time on last night. Look at this. This one's unbelievable. I want to come back and talk about the industrials. I did a piece on Boeing last night. Pete Nigerian and I were going back and forth talking about the levels in Boeing. Boeing is the largest in the industrial. Obviously is struggling as of late. But look at the relative strength of XLI into the S&P. Industrials are getting cracked. Really, really getting hurt here. I'm going to come back and talk about Boeing. You are starting to see, though, strength in XLY, and it's been strong for a long time. Consumer discretionary, XLY, trying to break resistance. So you got consumer discretionary doing extremely well. And then here's where I think it gets interesting. If you pull an XLK, which is the sector spider that tracks technology, which on my little 1080 monitor here, I can't even find it. Where are you, XLK? All right, so here's the NASDAQ. The NDX is not making new highs, right? So let me pull, where's my XLK? I, B, F, Y, there it is right there, top right. XLK is making new highs. And if you think about it, if you look at the different sector makeup and sub-industry makeup of the NASDAQ, it's not just technology. You've got healthcare, you've got retail, you've got financials, you've got some staples in there, right? But if you look at XLK, that's clearly made new highs. Well set up, pull back here to this little 9-period MA. You've got some pretty good relative strength of XLK to the S&P. So this just continues to be a tech-driven rally if we go. I think if the Fed does cut rates, that should pressure the dollar. Generally, that's been good for semis, which has been boosting this market. But I do think maybe you're going to get kind of a return to FANG, potentially. We've seen this kind of stealth bull market in second-tier tech, a lot of kind of upstart FANG wannabes, not upstart, but certainly below FANG level, that are driving this market forward. So technology, I'd say, is pretty good. Consumer discretionary is pretty good. I think in this kind of environment, if we do break through 3,000 and 8K in the NASDAQ, obviously XLK is pushing. I think that's where we have to focus.
Certainly, second quarter earnings are coming up soon, and we've been predicting a little bit lower than normal earnings, I think, in most of the tech sectors. And if we start to see some of those surprise earnings beat, I think you're right on.
Yeah, and we'll see. And I think obviously they were guiding lower last quarter. I think 80% of companies have pre-announced. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be an easy. Quiet summer. I don't think we're going to be able to go on the golf course or to the beach. All right. So let's talk about industrials just a little bit. If you guys were watching Fast Money last night, I was going back and forth with Pete on Boeing. I just wanted to show you that one. If you guys are interested, just take a couple minutes and just kind of go over Boeing. So here's the longer term count in Boeing. Let me get these icons out of here. as I said, settling into the new studio space. All right, so here's the count in Boeing. It's still holding support relatively well. But what I was showing last night, if you take the Elliott Wave away, which just if you guys want to know, I still do believe we're in some kind of fourth wave. I'd like to see us begin to hold support before we move higher. But you know what I was doing last night is this is just a simple study that anybody can do, even if you're not a wave guy. Just look at the depth of prior corrections. And you got to do it based on percent rather than notional. Okay, percent correction of a stock, whether it's a $50 stock or $350 stock, does generally tend to hold. So, you know, let's just do something here. So I'm just going to do a little line. Okay, what's that correction right there? 30.5%. What's this correction right here? This correction right here is 21%. What's this correction right here? This one right here is 27.5%. I mean, this gets a little repetitious. It gets a little boring. Good morning, Joe, the intern.
Morning.
How you doing, buddy?
Good, how are you?
Good. Nice little fire drill this morning. Thanks for checking the HDMI cords. I'm just kidding. we don't yell at our interns, do we? We don't yell at you, do we?
No way.
No way. All right, so this was one that was most interesting. Check this out. The most recent drop in Boeing, 26%, and look at the current drop. Percent changes everything. Current drop right here is 25%. So the point is, guys, from the credit crisis low, you had 22%, you had 30%, you had 27%, you had 34%, you had 26%, and you have 25%, right? So 30% is the biggest correction that we've seen since the credit crisis lows in Boeing. And I actually misspoke on Fast Money last night. I was saying it was counterbalanced. It was the actual proper term is overbalance. You don't want to see more than a 30% correction from the credit crisis low. That would suggest that the correction that we've seen is starting to be something more than just a correction to the 2009 low. We just did 25%, right? So even if you want to use this kind of symmetry, let's find a 30%. There we go, come on. There's the 30% at 313, right? So using all the corrections in Boeing over the last, decade, if you don't hold above 310, then you would start to say this is the biggest correction, and that's the start of something deeper in Boeing. So I still hold Boeing. It's a pretty small holding in our stock portfolio. I think we only hold like a 1 or 2% position in Boeing. I wouldn't mind to get it a little bit lower so we can add. I'm just trying to look for I think I need more monitors over here, guys. I'm losing all my screens. Boeing, I'll show you our actual RIA portfolio here. Monitor, sort by position size. We started with $100,000 in this account just to build a track record for you. BA. Oh, actually, we cut BA, didn't we? We cut BA. Never mind. We did cut BA. I thought we were down like a last, 1/3 allocation, but I cut Boeing. So I would like to try to accumulate. I would like to try to get back into Boeing. I apologize about that. But Boeing, if we can get some kind of wave 4, I'd really like to see it kind of hold this area right here. Support would be 293, but as I mentioned, based on prior corrections, this is what we'd like to see in Boeing, maybe a shallow little C wave. The market does drop away, look for 310. If we break below 293, then I would say we have something more serious happening, specifically 310 and then 293. The other one we were looking at last night on Fast Money was 3M. Stock looks terrible, just absolutely terrible. If you throw, no Elliott Wave on this at all, if you just throw some indicators, maybe just throw some moving averages, That's a nasty failure at the 200-day. We've dropped away, coming back to the 50. 3M is like the 5th biggest industrial out there. So, you know, those two stocks are the big reasons that industrials are underperforming. So I think it just goes back, as I'm saying, to tech and consumer discretionary. Okay, so that's that. A couple other trades, and we're going to bring Terry in quickly. Two that are going really well right now: Walmart and Costco. Walmart and Costco, sort of supercenter retailers, are ripping on the upside. We'd like to see Walmart continue higher out of this third wave. If we could get towards 115, that's where we'd like to be. We're struggling at the 113 mark in Walmart, and that's a bit of a concern right here. I'd like to see the wave 3 move up to the 115 area. We're holding that trade over in the options market, and I'll show you that one here. We have the 105, 115 call debit spread. Pretty good money there. We'd like to see the 115s begin to melt away, and that certainly corresponds with the 1618 in the wave 3. Costco is another one that is just one of the best holdings in our portfolio. This is interesting. We kind of struggled with this first zone of resistance into 260. I'm thinking Costco has more room up into the 280 mark, this next cluster of resistance. Couple other holdings as I look at our portfolio. We just did a video with Exact Sciences, EXAS, solid looking stock here. Exact Sciences is right here. We just added it. We are through the 100% projection, looking for the 1618 into 135 in Exact Sciences. Okay, so just a couple stocks in there that we're holding, we're messing around with. All right. From there, let's talk about one thing. Terry, do you want to kind of share, show them a little bit about MotiveWave? We have a webinar coming up tonight. It's going to be a long day here at Trading Analysis. We have a webinar tonight at 8 p.m. We'll give you that link. We'll kind of show you what we do with MotiveWave. I'll pull Terry over and show us a thing or two with this MotiveWave software while Terry's getting set up. This is the software we use. Obviously, we're devout Elliott Wave practitioners. MotiveWave's been kind of a tool in our arsenal for almost a decade. So Terry's heading up the effort to bring MotiveWave out to all of our customers. So Terry, show us a thing or two, please.
Okay, well, you guys watch Todd do this all the time, so I'm not sure I'm going to show you much. But here's a stock that I just checked out the other day, and I'm going to give you a little quick tour on how we actually would lay start a analysis here. Innovative Industrial Properties is a self-advised Maryland corporation that focuses on acquisition, ownership, management of specialized industrial properties. Basically, licensed operators for regulated medical use cannabis facilities. So this is, I thought, was a very innovative and interesting piece of
nice pickup there, TL.
So one of the things we do is where the hell start. So we're going to look generally, and this stock goes back just a little bit past 2017, but I'm going to just take a look at this move that's going on right here. And the reason I say that is this is the largest correction that I see in this trend here. And there's another potentially larger, similar time-based correction right here. This looks to me like a wave 1, 2. This looks like maybe a wave 3, 4. And the origin is off to the left. We could say if we are going to move up between these two, let me just remove this real quick. And I just did that by just simply pressing delete. There's a couple of different ways you can add the Elliott Wave labels. You can open the component panel and come down to Elliott Wave. And you have all of your Elliott Wave tools, your impulse, leading, ending diagonals, ABC corrections, and triangles. So whichever pattern that you choose, if you want to, you can pull that pattern out, grab with your mouse, grab the bottoms, and start placing labels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and do your own manual connections here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe. And whoops, that's the wrong. We want to get that one out of the way. We want to get the 3 there, and then this looks more like a 4. Now, if you mess up, here's what we grab it, and you can drag that thing around. The best thing to do is hit Control Z and just bring it right back to where it's supposed to be. So we'll do that. This looks like maybe some kind of a triangle correction going on here.
Yeah.
So if I lay this out, one of the things I can do now, so if I think this is a triangle, MotiveWave has got all of these patterns built in, and it will actually also do self-wave analysis. I'm going to right mouse click here. I'm going to come down and say decompose, and I want to decompose this into a triangle. Okay, and there it is. Now that's not necessarily a perfect triangle to me because I think the D wave goes above the B. Maybe I don't like that. I'm going to pull this back one level, and then I'm going to decompose that into a correction. And that's how easy it is. Now, if I did this right, if I did it wrong, okay, you can automatically decompose this wave 3. Okay, right or wrong, maybe I think that I can change that pattern. I think this is what I would prefer. So you have this flexibility in this tool. There's all kinds of drawing tools that you can use to annotate. You can draw text boxes and just
Terry, will you sorry to interrupt them? Will you show them how one time frame, the changes you make in one time frame are automatically linked to the other, or automatically reflected in the other time frames?
So everything I do, we've got our analysis labeled as each analysis that we create, we give it a specific name. In our case, we like to use colors, but you could call them whatever you want. When you create a new analysis, and you can see I have a red count here that I've already pre-populated with a wave count and with a longer time frame here.
We're gonna trade that one, Terry.
One of the things what Todd is saying is that we like to track against multiple time frames. So in my main desktop layout, I have weeklies over on here in the left, dailies, half day, and this should be set to a 1 hour, and we can change that real easily. Just come down here and pick that. Whatever time frame that you prefer, you can jump back and forth. Now, as we are making any of the changes in any one of these, the changes are automatically applied to all the time frames. So this is really just one chart in 4 different windows with 4 different time frames, and they're all linked together. And we have a little trick on how we link them together, but that'll take a little bit more time to explain. You do get some warning messages. Here it's warning me that in a smaller time frame, wave A must subdivide into 3 waves. So MotiveWave's got lots of things built in to try to help keep you following the Elliott Wave rules and prevent you from making too many errors in your wave count. So.
Very good.
What else would you like me to show them, Todd?
Yeah, there's so much more I want you to show them, but we're running tight on time, guys.
Yeah, that's it. So you guys want to see more about that? We got a webinar coming up tonight, and Todd's going to pop that right there on the screen. You can register this by going to tradinganalysis.com/summer waves.
Actually, the link is directly below this YouTube window, so it should be right below us.
Okay, great. So directly below your YouTube window, you should also be able to find that link. Register for that. Join Todd, myself, and Tony Lindsay, who is the developer of MotiveWave. Tony, he's a great guy, and he has built all kinds of new features into the new version 6. We're going to talk a little bit about some of those new features. I was even very impressed with the product as it is. I couldn't imagine that Tony could come up with even more better features, and he did. So I'm looking forward to the webinar tonight, talk to Tony and have him show and demonstrate some of that. Todd and I will talk about some things too. We'd love to have you guys there.
Absolutely. Yeah, guys, it's about, Elliott Wave is certainly not just throwing an indicator on a chart and taking the buy-sell signals. There's a lot more to it. It's an entire strategy. It's a game plan. So it's about the organization, and that's why we do have multiple monitors. And, you could just set up a laptop and have one or two monitors with the technology these days, but it's the effective use of screen real estate to come up with an effective strategy. And MotiveWave is a tool that we like to use. So we're going to talk about that, our approach going forward. So, markets open. I do want to bring Alex in just to see what's happening in Bitcoin. I just want to see where our positions are, guys, to start the day. Looks like we're up some money here today. Up about 9.
We should be. That was a pretty big pop.
Yep. So doing pretty well there. What's moving for us? Just a little bit of everything. A little bit of everything. TLT's doing pretty well there. That butterfly's kicking in for. Oh, that's actually my long position. TLT's flat. TLT's doing nothing there. There's the Walmart on the option side. Okay. All right. So that's that. Not much. Kind of a decent open for us. Alex, do you want to hit Bitcoin quickly? Guys.
Sure.
All right. Before we do that, also, if you're watching, be sure to hit the thumbs up. I will give you the studio tour next week. We need more green screen space. But basically, also give a thumbs up for Joe for building this. I know you can't really see it. Maybe at the end we'll give you a little tour here. But we got our work boots on. We had power saws flying. We still have 10 fingers attached. We built this baby. We have our own set. So lots of good things are going to happen here. So good job, Joe.
Thanks.
All right. Alex, show us crypto, please, sir.
Yep.
Alrighty. Let's go to webinar.
Am I sound okay?
Yep, you sound good.
Yes.
Okay. So Bitcoin, we are looking for 3 waves down, 3 waves up. So still in consolidation. You have several Elliott wave patterns which can occur in this point of time. So it can be a triangle, it can be a flat, it can be a double zigzag. So we are still kind of looking what this one can be. And for now, it looks like it's going to be a flat, which means we are looking for another push to 13,892, and maybe we are going to see a 5-wave down.
The crypto community is going to be crushed if we drop back below 10,000.
Yeah, so kind of watching here, we have been trading this on the short side very successfully, and now we are flat, kind of waiting that the others chop themselves out in this correction, which is designed actually to take out your money and time. And we are using the Elliott Wave tool to wait our time, wait for a small confirmation here, put shorts with the stops above. So
Very
controlling risk.
Very nice. Alex heads up the crypto and the Forex side of our business. If you'd like some information, check us out there on Trading Analysis. Terry's carving out a beautiful MotiveWave section, showing you guys how we use the MotiveWave software to trade FX, futures, not so much futures, FX, crypto, stock options, and to a lesser extent futures. But we're full service here at Trading Analysis. Oops, you don't need to see our Slack. Check us out at tradinganalysis.com, which is going to be right here. For more information, we'll see you guys tonight in the webinar, 8 o'clock. It will be to draw your attention to MotiveWave. There is a summer sale going on. Just to tell you right now, just to be full transparency, there will be an offer if you'd like to get the software. It's on sale, but we'll take you through the entire reasoning, how, why we use MotiveWave, and there'll definitely be quality information in that, so please register to attend. If you can't attend, certainly put your email in there, and we'll send you the replay when it's done. Okay, so thumbs up on the video if you're watching on YouTube. Appreciate it. Throw your questions, comments. I have my guest list going for future shows. So if there's somebody you'd like to see as a guest on our show, please put the comment below and let us know, and I'll do my best to make that work. So yeah, we have a lot planned here. So guys, thanks again for watching. Terry and Alex, guys, great work, and we'll see you guys on the next Wednesday webinar, and I'll see you tonight.
Good luck trading today, guys.
See you guys.
See you later.